Hello and welcome. And in this episode of State Draft, we will be discussing who is Ramgiri Maharaj. Ramgiri Maharaj became an overnight sensation after he allegedly passed derogatory remarks against Prophet Muhammad in August at a religious event in Nashik district. A video of that incident went viral on social media, following which the Muslim leaders and organizations started demanding for his arrest. There were violent protests that were erupted in Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, Ahmednagar, and Nashik. But before we get into that, let's also understand what exactly happened in Maharashtra in the last couple of weeks and why is there a political backlash over Ramgiri Maharaj. Now, in an event last month, Ramgiri Maharaj passed alleged derogatory remarks against Prophet Muhammad, because of which many Muslims in the state raised objection. AIMIM leader Imtiaz Jalil also sort of threatened the Maharashtra government to take action against Ramgiri Maharaj within 5 days over his objectionable remarks. And he also warned that the party members will march to Mumbai if his demands remain unmet. But here in this case, we can see that the ruling Mahayuti parties, especially the BJP and Shiv Sena, appear to be using the controversy to their advantage. Last month, when these remarks were passed, Chief Minister Eknath Shinde shared a stage with Ramgiri Maharaj and said that in Maharashtra, nobody can touch the hair of any saint. Saints like Ramgiri Maharaj carry out the work of giving direction to people, so nobody can even touch the hair of any saint in Maharashtra. Now, this is what Chief Minister Eknath Shinde said. Also, Maharashtra Rural Development Minister Girish Mahajan and former Ahmednagar MP Sujay Vikhe Patil touched his feet on the stage. Not only that, in fact, Kankavli MLA Nitesh Rane of the BJP said that there would be repercussions if Maharaj was harmed. Nitesh Rane said, and I quote, "We will enter your mosque and hit you one by one. Keep this in mind." So this is the kind of threat that Nitesh Rane gave. Although there are two FIRs that have been registered against Rane at Shrirampur and Topkhana police stations, and also over the last couple of weeks, around 50 FIRs have been registered against Ramgiri Maharaj across the state for allegedly hurting religious sentiments, promoting enmity between two groups over religion, and engaging in criminal intimidation, among other offences. Ramgiri Maharaj later said that his remarks were in response to the alleged atrocities being committed against Hindus in Bangladesh and said that his objective was to unite the members of Hindu community. And he continues to stand firm on his statement. Now, political experts believe that Ramgiri Maharaj has the courage to stick to his remarks, partly because politicians from the ruling alliance are backing him, and also, along with it, the RSS, whose chief Mohan Bhagwat met with Ramgiri Maharaj in June, has also given him some backing. Now let's understand who this seer is and his spiritual journey. Now, Ramgiri Maharaj was drawn to spirituality from a tender age and has served as a Mahant, that is the chief of Sadguru Gagangiri Maharaj Sansthan in Sarlabet, Shrirampur Tehsil, which is in Ahmednagar district, since 2009. For the past 15 years, he has been delivering sermons and spreading the teachings of Maharashtra's Warkari sect in various talukas across the northern part of the state. Now, Ramgiri Maharaj was born as Suresh Ramkrishna Rane in Jalgaon's Bhusawal in 1972. After studying till class 7 in his own village, he moved to another village for further studies. And it was during this period that he started singing kirtans and giving sermons over Maharashtra's different saints. His close associates say that he was more inclined towards bhajans and kirtans than studies, and instead of playing with his friends, he would rather be immersed in meditation. He frequently visited Swadhyay Kendra. Now, Swadhyay Kendra is a religious center for Bhagavad Gita teachings. He studied class 12 and later moved to Pune for work purpose because his family insisted on doing so. But there he could not concentrate on work and instead decided to continue with his spiritual journey. Later on, he moved to Ahmednagar to pursue a diploma course at an industrial training institute, that is ITI. But here again, he could not concentrate and he did not finish that course, and instead he quit his studies and sought blessings from spiritual guru Narayan Giri Maharaj, who himself was a disciple of Gagan Giri Maharaj. Now for that purpose, he came to Ahmednagar, Sarlabad. And for many years, he lived there and received training from Narayan Giri Maharaj. Now Narayan Giri Maharaj passed away in 2009, and since then, Ramgiri, who was his disciple, was appointed as the Mahant of Sadguru Sri Gagan Giri Maharaj Sansthan. This Sansthan holds a week-long religious session called Harinam Saptah every year. And this session is normally held during the month of Shravan. But apart from that, there are different sessions which are held anywhere in the state, and every time Ramgiri Maharaj goes to that particular village which decides to host the event. For example, if you want to host an event, a saptah in your village, you can do all the arrangements and also call Ramgiri Maharaj. Now these sessions are not just held during the Shravan month, but different sessions are held during Durgashtami, Mahashivratri, Guru Purnima and other such festivals. During these sessions, Ramgiri Maharaj explains the teachings of Sant Jnaneshwar, Sant Tukaram and other saints of Maharashtra. Apart from that, he also extensively speaks about the Hindu culture, Hindu mythology, and emphasis is also given to protect the Sanatan Dharma. Now, close associates of Ramgiri Maharaj tell us that during the Saptah, many people come. In fact, the number goes up to 1 lakh, and on the last day of the Saptah, it even touches close to 1 million. So, in the entire week, we can roughly say that on an average, 20 to 25 lakh people attend these Saptahs. From this, you can realize that the kind of following Ramgiri Maharaj and his Sansthan holds in Maharashtra. The close associates also say that there is no discrimination based on any religion, and even Muslims participate in these events in large numbers. In fact, to state this, there was a Saptah committee that was organized a session in Vaizapur some years back, and this committee included several Muslims. Now, it is during one of these Saptahs this year in Nashik on August 16 that Ramgiri Maharaj made these controversial remarks on Prophet Muhammad. Although his close associates say that the objective was not political, and in fact, they have no political affiliations or are not attached to any political parties, although different politicians from different parties attend these events. But it just ends there. Now, this is what the close associates of Ramgiri Maharaj and his disciples claim. In fact, they also say that there is no politics in any of his lectures, and whatever happened was an unfortunate event, but he did not mean to politicize any of it. But even after they claim that there is no politics involved in any of Ramgiri's teaching, in fact, if we remember, the religious leader attended an RSS training camp in Nagpur in June this year. Now, during this training camp, he shared stage with RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat, and there he praised Sangh and its efforts to protect the Sanatan Dharma. During that training camp, what Ramgiri Maharaj said, and I quote, "In the Sangh, you get the sanskars values to remain balanced in all conditions, whether favorable or adverse, and when one is associated with the RSS, they get to learn about dedication and maintaining social harmony." And because of these different events that he attended, the opposition targeted Ramgiri Maharaj and accused the BJP of using the Sears controversy to their advantage to polarize people based on religion. And this, remember, there are elections in the state ahead. So this becomes very crucial. And whether this controversy will polarize the state and benefit the ruling alliance or not, this needs to be seen on how the government and opposition handles the issue. But for now, it seems that the situation is under control, at least on the surface of it. That's all we have for you in this episode of the State Draft. For more such episodes, do tune in. This is me, Purva Chitnis, signing off.